Okay, we are on 0.3, so this is going to be a little bit different now. We're still trying to solve for x, that's what this whole unit is about, but we're going to have a variable on both sides of my equal sign. If you noticed, all the equations that we've been working with so far have only had x's on one side, right? X's are only on the right over here, x's are on the left, x's are only on the right over here. It gets a little different when we have my x on both sides. So kind of talking through this here, again, we know basically the basic steps of how to do this. The new thing that we need to think about is we need to get our x's to one side and our constants to the other, yeah? So right here it says move the variable to one side of the equation using add or subtract, whatever we need to do. We'll move our constant to the other side. And then once we get to that point, it's just like we've been working with. So we're going to add on one more step here, though it is going to be combined with a couple different things. So let's go ahead and look at example 1. So notice once again that I have x's over here and x's over here. We can't solve an equation like this until all of our x's are combined on one side of the equation. Now it's totally your choice. It doesn't matter which way you decide to move it. Some teachers always teach to move to the left. I'm going to go ahead and do it that way, but it is totally up to you. The math works out either way. So we're going to draw our line. What we're going to do again is get our x's to one side. Now I'm going to take this entire 3x. I know typically when I want to get 3 away from the x, we'd be dividing. But I am taking all of 3x and I'm going to move it. So since this is a positive 3x, we are actually going to subtract 3x over to this side. Now, it's only going to get subtracted from the 7x because those are like terms. I can't do like negative 12 minus 3x and get like a 9 or something. Like, it doesn't work. It's only these x's. Now, once more, the point of doing 3x minus 3x is those are opposites. Positive 3x minus 3x, it's gone. So we're going to drop down over here. Well, we still have, I've got my equal sign. I still have the 4. And then over here, we have 7x's minus 3x's, which gives us how many x's? 4x's. And we still have the minus 12. So notice, once you do that, once you move your variables to one side of the equation, this becomes an equation that we are very used to looking at. So keep going from here, solve for x, and then you're done. Okay, so you should have added 12 because we want to get the x by itself. It would make no sense to subtract 4 over because I'm trying to get x by itself. I don't want to move things towards the side that has the x, right? You should have added 12. So I still have 4x over here equals 4 plus 12 is 16. Should have divided by 4. You should have gotten that x equals 4. So once again, like I said, we're just adding on one more step, and then it becomes an equation that we're very used to. So I want you to try it again on this slide. Again, it is your choice. You do not have to move over to the left. We just want to move those x's first. So if you want to move the 4x over, or if you want to move the 7x over, the magic of math is it's going to work out correct. So go ahead and give this a shot. Okay, so I'm going to show you moving the 7x over. Now, what's going to happen here is I'm going to subtract 7x because this is a positive. Oops. That's a positive 7x. I'm going to subtract it. That cancels out. I still have negative 13 over here. Don't drop that sign. That sign goes with a 13. And then I still have 5. Now be careful here. I have 4 minus 7. This gives you a negative 3x. Some teachers always teach you to move the direction where you'll end up with a positive number. But again, it really doesn't matter. Just to show you over here one more time. If you decided to move the 4x first, that's totally okay. You are correct. You would have gotten 5 equals, whoops, 3x minus 13. And if you kept going from there, you'll see we are going to get the same answers in both cases. So it does not matter which you move first. It's totally a preference thing. I'm going to keep going over here though. So I need to get the x by itself. So I need to move over away from my x. We should have subtracted 5 next. And I'm being very careful with my signs here. Negative 3x, that negative needs to drop. I'm going down 13, then down 5. This is negative 18. I'm dividing by negative 3, since I now just have negative 3x, and you should have gotten that x equals 6. So once more over here, if you did this, you should have also gotten x equals 6. It should work out. And it is a positive 6 because this is a negative over a negative. Over here, we'd get a positive over positive. Does not matter which way you move your x, as long as you don't drop any of your negative signs. Doesn't matter. Okay, let's try something a little bit more difficult now. So I've got my line here. I still have x's on both sides of the equation, but notice on this side, I have 2 x's. So I can't really, I mean, sort of can, but we're not going to. I don't want to move stuff around yet until I have simplified both sides of my equation. We know how to do this because we did this step on Friday. Take a look at just your left side and take a minute. Combine like terms and rewrite your equation. We have like terms on the left side we can combine. Go ahead and give it a shot. Okay, well, the positive x and the negative 7x, those are like terms on the left side. I still have 4, and then this is a plus 1x and a minus 7x. You should have gotten negative 6x. Be careful that you did not drop the sign. It's a negative 6x. Now, I got 28 plus 2x. Now again, once we have combined our like terms and simplified both sides if we need to, this becomes something we're used to. So again, try from here. Get your x's to one side. It doesn't matter which way you go as long as you do the correct thing you need to. And then we'll check and see if you got it right. Go ahead and give this a shot. Okay, so I'm going to show this. Again, I'm just choosing. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to move the 6x first. I could move the 2x. I will get the same answer. So I'm going to go ahead and add this 6x over. If you moved the 6x, make sure you added it. That's gone. We got 4 equals. I got 28 still. 2x plus 6x, this gives us 8x. And then once again, this becomes a normal equation for us to solve. We should subtract the 28 first, which gives us negative 24 equals 8x. We should, because again, that's gone, divide the 8 away. You should have gotten x equals negative 3. If you did not get x equals negative 3, you made a mistake somewhere. Even if you decided to move the 2x first, then you made a mistake somewhere. Does not matter what you do first as long as you do the correct things. There are lots of correct things to be done. We should get the same answer. Magic of math. Okay, one more we're going to do that, again, adds in a couple more extra steps, and then we're going to do this last example together to make sure that we're really understanding it all. Okay, so again, notice there's things that I need to take care of. One, I have x's on both sides of my line, my equal sign. Here's an x, here's an x. And then I also have parentheses. We know that means to distribute, right? We got to get rid of those parentheses. So that's going to be our first step, is to distribute. 4 times 5, 4 times a negative 2x. 2 times x, 2 times a negative 5. We're going to take care of that on both sides, and then once again, it becomes an equation that we're used to. So take a moment, distribute first, and then click continue and see if you can tell if you did it right. Okay, so 4 times 5. Again, distribution is multiplication. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times a negative 2x is negative 8x. I've got my equal sign. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Okay, So check and make sure you did that right. Again, sometimes our brains are just going too quickly, and when we do distribution, we like add or subtract instead of multiply. So fix what you need to, and then solve. It's an equation that we know what to do. Get your x's to one side, and then do whatever you need to do from there. Okay, I'm going to choose to add the 8x. I could subtract the 2x. Again, we're doing the opposite because we're moving across an equal sign. I'm choosing to add the 8x. Typically for myself, my brain thinks I want to end up with positive numbers. And so if I minus the 2x over, I'd end up with a negative over here. And my brain is just like, I just want to work with positives. So I've got 20 equals, this should be 10x minus 10. To get x by itself, we should add 10. We've got 30 equals 10x. I should divide by 10. No matter where you started, you should have gotten that x equals 3. If you did not get x equals 3, you made a mistake. Like I said, you could have started somewhere else. You could have subtracted 2x over. If you did that, but you still didn't get x equals 3, you made a mistake somewhere else. So check your work. See if you're doing it right. Okay, so like I said, we're going to put it all together in this last question. If you want to try it on your own, you can. However, we're going to try this one together. What you can do if you're done early, since we're doing this video in class. There we go. Okay, let me take a look at this real quickly, and I can delete this part out of my Edpuzzle. Okay. Go 1, 2, 7, 8. Oh, did this in 2 parts. Oh, okay, no, let's do it in 2. Okay, so while you wait, if you got done a little bit earlier than everybody else, I'm going to bring everybody back together, and we're going to try this last example. But what you can do for right now is assignment. It takes forever to spell this word. 0.3 part 1. So we are going to do some problems for this assignment out of both part 1 and part 2. So again, you need to see part 1. You are just doing 1 through 3 and 7 through 9. Remember, what this means is 1, 2, 3, skip 4, 5, 6, and then do 7, 8, 9. And then we're going to come back together and do this problem. And then I'm going to assign some problems out of, where is it? Part 2. But for right now, you're just working out of part 1. Just those problems will come back together, and then we'll have some stuff out of part 2. Always ask me questions if you get stuck on anything.